right, as long as you know.
Hey now. I'm having chest pain. I'm having chest pain, everyone, because I've been doing a little research, a little watching about the Boggy Creek Monster, which is right now a documentary you can watch on Amazon Prime. It was put out by Small Town Monsters. We had that guy on this very show last year, right? Was it last year or earlier this year? I don't even remember.
Sometime. For Small Town Monsters.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It was either in the fall or early winter last year or early this year.
Pass.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, pass.
Thank you for providing absolutely no information.
It was within the last
I thought that's
year,
what this podcast was about.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you did a good job then. The Legend of Boggy Creek. There's been various folklore and urban legends of a wild man running around in Arkansas for quite a long time. It's a Sasquatch-like creature. It is said to have haunted a network of creeks extending from the Sulphur River bottoms in southern Arkansas to the small town of Fork. Or not Fork, but Folk. I guess it's Folk, Fouke. Folk. Over the years, the creature has been seen by countless people, including respected citizens, experienced hunters, famous musicians, and even police officers. It has inspired several movies, most notably The Legend of Boggy Creek, which became a drive-in sensation, netting nearly $25 million during its run in 1972. How about that? You ever heard of this thing, Joe?
No. What would I look up to find the best information? The Boggy Creek Monster?
You can look up Boggy Creek Monster, The Legend of Boggy Creek. There is a whole Wikipedia thing on it.
Looks like there's a Fouke Monster, Fouke Monster.
Yeah, there's a FoukeMonster.net.
Yeah.
And you can find...
Oh, there's a movie about it.
Yeah.
So this is what you're talking about. You watched this.
Well, I didn't watch this movie. I watched the documentary.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on. Dude. Look, I only got so much time.
1972.
I'm a busy
Jesus.
dude. I haven't watched it yet. I will. I'll go back and watch it and pull clips.
So there's a 2016 movie and there's a 1972 movie.
Well, the 2016 movie, I believe, is what is on Amazon Prime right now, and that's the documentary produced by Small Town Monsters.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the old one is like a drama.
Yeah.
Mystery.
It's like it would be like what you consider like Swamp Thing or something like that. It's it's a fictionalized story about real life eyewitness accounts. It's not like the Boggy Creek guy. It's not like he like joins like society and goes around and becomes a mailman or something like that. It's not like
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's not like
I like that.
He gets a job as a waiter,
But I've seen some things that call him the fuck monster, basically, or the Fouke monster.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's the fuck monster.
the Boggy Creek fuck monster. No.
Don't go into the woods with him.
Yeah.
This guy's a perv.
He's only interested in one thing.
Yeah. Well, apparently this thing, the Boggy Creek Monster, is approximately 7 feet tall. It weighs in at 300 to 500 pounds. It's got the dark brown or black hair covering its entire body. The skin is dark like an ape. It's it doesn't have any kind of color to it.
He had green skin.
No, it doesn't have green skin. It's more like an ape like skin. It
gray maybe.
It lives in Arkansas. It was first sighted in 1908, and the most recent sighting is in 2014. It leaves tracks, and there are no known photos of this motherfucker. Can you believe that shit, bitch?
No.
Oh, there's no way. There's no way there aren't any photos because that's exactly how all these go. Sorry.
Well, I got some clips from the documentary. The documentary. And
that's right.
If you want to hear some of this stuff right here. So I'll start things off with this little woman, a clip from the Small Town Monsters movie, The Monster of Boggy Creek.
In In 1972, an eerie abomination made its first appearance on theater screens across America. It was the subject of a movie titled The Legend of Boggy Creek. The creature at the heart of this legend was dubbed the Boggy Creek Monster. While a nation came to meet this beast for the first time in the early 1970s, residents in the bottomlands of southern Arkansas barely batted an eye at its cinematic debut. They knew something the rest of the country was just beginning to grasp. See, the legend of Boggy Creek wasn't just a legend. For decades, reports of a huge, man-like, hair-covered beast who wandered the swamps and waterways had seeped into local folklore. While the excitement of the film appealed to the general public, those who had actually encountered the monster for themselves were haunted by its reality. The reality was a riddle. The reality was terrifying.
Yes.
That was great.
They do a good job with the music and the production behind it. It's I will give Small Town Monsters very they got well established production and with the way it's laid out, and they do just such a good job with their storytelling.
Yeah. For people who didn't recognize it, that was the X-Files theme with the banjo.
Yeah, with kind of like a banjo thrown in there. Yeah. It
was expert, man. That was great.
Yeah.
I found it. Seth from Small Town Monsters was on March 1st, 2017.
Wow, this year.
You piece of shit.
Oh, okay.
It had me fooled. You could have said last summer. I'd have been like, yeah, probably.
I had
said
no
fucking
idea.
last week. But it's all a blur.
I have no
I haven't
idea.
been sober for days.
I have no idea when he was on. It's every show is a blur. Every show is the same show. We don't know what we're doing. Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
Is this what I am?
Yes. Where every show is just a repeat. It's deja vu over and over again.
It's our first day every
Groundhog's Day.
Yeah. This show is Groundhog's Day. It really is. Same monsters. Hey, this Bigfoot got a penis. Hey, where's the Boggy Creek penis? Is that what we're talking about here?
You didn't even ask about his penis yet.
No, yeah. We're digging deep. We haven't even gotten to all the boggy penis jokes. The boggy balls, if you will.
Boggy ball.
Yeah.
Boggy balls. Can we tug them boggy balls?
Give me a little bit of swamp ass down here and talking about. All right. I got another clip here from the same movie, and this goes into some evidence that may have been collected back in the day.
The Boggy Creek Monster seems to be a phantom, rarely leaving behind any physical evidence. But on June 13th, 1971, that would change. Tracks were found in a local bean field owned by Willie Smith. They were unlike any the town folk had ever seen before or since. Possessing what appeared to be just 3 toes, the tracks followed a path out of the bordering forest, across the field, and then back into the woodline. I noted the proximity of the field to the famed Boggy Creek itself when I visited the location during one of my research trips. While the strange tracks do raise a number of questions, they were discovered at just the right time, allowing them to become a feature of Pierce's movie. But what kind of huge bipedal creature can carry itself on such a narrow 3-toed foot?
All right.
You said that's what I was going to say.
Well, this is the first time I've heard of a Bigfoot Sasquatch creature leaving like 3 toes. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Clown Baby, have you heard that before?
No. It's always been a large human-like footprint.
Yeah. That's what we've seen like in various, like if you look in Search Of by Leonard Nimoy or even Unsolved Mysteries, you'll see like plaster casts of Bigfoot, big feet. And it's always kind of looks like an oversized human footprint, not 3-toed. So this is new.
Yeah, that doesn't fit with the rest of them.
No, this is completely different. It's foreign. It doesn't go along with everything else that we know and have seen. So that's unique right there. So
it's the humanoid-ish with the ape-like skin kind of thing is Bigfoot to a T. But the 3-toe thing. That could be a sloth.
It could be like a half man, half ape, half sloth. Just three halves there.
I like that.
Man, ape, sloth.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sloth man. Yeah.
So, well, you think it would be so slow that it would be, we've caught it by now.
Yeah. Someone would have caught up to it and fucked it to death. No doubt.
Holy shit, it's a giant sloth. Let's get it, boy. Actually, there used to be giant ground sloths. They were megafauna around, and I think they went extinct probably around, I think, the end of the Ice Age, somewhere around then.
Yeah, I mean, same with the saber-toothed tiger and all those guys. I mean, they just couldn't cut it, They didn't, just couldn't combat that cold that came around for whatever reason. So I have a couple more clips here. I have an eyewitness encounter, which is a little long because the way the guy talks. I might have to cut him off because it is drawn out kind of, Arkansas hick talking about, I saw a Boggy Creek out there. Boggy Creek
Monster. Is this going to get us in trouble?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because we're going to make fun of him. Probably.
Okay.
I don't know. This is why I like eyewitness encounters. There's something believable about them, and you want to believe the people. And I'm on board with most of this shit. At least I'll entertain the ideas, but it's hard to really digest sometimes. But I'll indulge right here.
It was early evening when Lynn heard what he thought sounded like the family dog caught up in a barbed wire fence.
All at once, his dog got hung up in a fence. But the dog sounded like he was killing himself, so he figured, well, I gotta get out, try to get the damn eated owl there. So he jumped up and started running out there. And when he got to where he could see, it was that damn creature making a racket like a dog hung up in the fence. And he was standing at the water's edge. His full back wasn't to the boy. And the boy was now about 60 steps away from him, and nothing between him and that critter. He could see the side of his head and part of his back and all down one side. And he said that thing was letting off body language that told him that he is highly pissed off. And
I don't want to dismiss this guy, and I don't, I really don't, and make fun of him, call him like a dumb Arkansas hick. That's, I know that's impolite to say.
One thing he said, it was barking like a dog, and he thought it was a dog, so he ran outside. Now, we talked about skinwalkers before, and I need to do this at One Monsters. We need to talk about flesh gates, because flesh gates and skinwalkers apparently have the ability to kind of basically mimic human voices and sounds in order to lure you to them. So, that kind of reminded me of one of those, but I should talk about flesh gates sometime.
Yeah, those are actually, that kind of luring technique is also associated with Sasquatch and something called the fall behinds, where they will mimic the sound of like a baby crying, because humans instinctively will there's a baby crying in the woods, you're going to run to it. And so that's a common thing that's heard, and they can attribute it to like a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot, and but it's bizarre. And so you got to be aware out there if you're into this kind of paranormal kind of cryptozoology stuff. If you hear a baby crying in the woods, do not go look for that baby.
Why?
Always look for the baby.
Don't look for the baby because it's a trap.
I don't know, man. I feel like I'd look for the baby just to make sure it wasn't not a baby.
Well, okay. Good luck, Joe. But, I'm
just saying.
Just
what if I want to get raped by the bog monster?
Okay, well,
by the Fook monster, Poke monster.
Arms hanging down. His arms was longer than his legs, the way he was crouched. And he said it looked somewhere between an animal and a man. And he said, sure enough, the thing did give up. And if he'd walked back up that old road, the way he come down, he might not ever seen the boy standing out there. Mm-hmm. Walked right toward that boy, looking down. And he smelt the boy before he seen him. And he stopped real short. And he went to breathing all in the air. And directly that joker spotted him. and he didn't take his eyes off of him again after that. He kept smelling the air, and he kept bending over farther and farther. He wanted to find what that kid was, but he didn't want to get any closer. He said the thing looked enough like an animal he wasn't fixing to talk to it, but it looked enough like a man that he was scared to shoot it. So he stood up and got to shuffling, and said then the thing just started slowly easing on out toward him. Had hair all over its body. He said he knew he couldn't hurt it with his shotgun, squirrel shot. So he shot for its eyes, hoping to make it leave him alone or damage its eyesight. Act like it never even heard the shot. He emptied his gun, shot him the third time. Then he turned around and started walking, looking back and loading his gun. And then the thing wasn't chasing him, but it was moving faster, kind of keeping the same distance. He said the first thing you know, he was loading his gun while he was trotting. And he said when he got his gun loaded, fear had overtook him. And he never did stop and make a stand anymore. He headed for home, and when he got home, he was completely panicked.
I like that guy's voice. His storytelling is compelling and well done. I think that guy should narrate every horror movie that ever is made.
Seems genuine.
I like when he said it looked too much like a human to shoot it, but it looked, what do you say, too much like an animal you wouldn't want to talk to. He wouldn't think to talk to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. And I'll tell you, I play on PS4. The guys I play with on PS4, they all have sort of a southern drawl. They're all great. Yeah. That's why I was like, you were doing the voice, and I'm like, oh man, are people going to get offended by that?
Probably. Look, I'm a dick. I'm an asshole. I'm sorry, people. I am. I make fun of everybody and everything. My bad. I know. I don't care where you come from. I'm going to make fun of you.
It does sound sometimes like he swallowed a banjo and that replaced your larynx.
And
that's all right.
The Boggy Creek Monster came up and it stole my sandwich. I tell you, it did. It jumped up and hunkered down on her feller's pecker. I saw it.
The one you were doing earlier was better. You sounded like Clayton Bigsby.
Oh, sorry. I'm just, that was my 49er. Hey there. I don't know. I'm trying some new voices. Okay, give me a fucking break.
No breaks.
Piss.
All right.
Yep. You get a piss break. That's it.
I have one last clip here, and this might be an extra long segment because I believe Columbia has some Bigfoot stuff. Correct. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh no.
Oh.
And this is a description of the Boggy Creek fella. And here we go.
The Boggy Creek Monster didn't just appear in 1971 when it made headlines. It's been here all along.
There were rumors years ago of a circus train. We got 2 railroad tracks just over here, probably not even a mile, of a circus train wrecking, and something could have got off that circus train. So I went to the World Books. I looked through all the animals. It was not a sloth. It was not any kind of bear. It wasn't anything the closest it resembled. Like I said, it resembles an ape, like a gorilla, except an 8-foot-tall gorilla that weighs about 800 pounds.
So there you go. He even mentioned sloth because obviously the 3-toe. I don't know, kind of interesting. Why can't it be a North American ape at this point? Why can't we say, hey, there's probably some kind of giant primate out there that is native to North America. We don't really know what it is, but it does come around every now and again, and they're very seclusive. They don't want to come out. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to get a job. They don't want to pay taxes. I get it.
They're sovereign citizens.
They're sovereign citizens.
Fucking goddamn Republicans. They sound like Republicans.
They're libertarians, what they are, Joe.
Fuck!
Goddamn libertarians out there. Yeah.
My ideology is anarcho Bigfoot.
I can get behind that.
That is what I have on the Boggy Creek Monster, the Boggy Creek Legend. You can take a look at the entire movie from 2016 from Small Town Monsters. It's on Amazon Prime right now for free. And I should say it up front, I'm not making any money from these guys. They're not advertising. I just, the guy was nice enough to come on our show, and I like talk. He does good movies, so I want to talk about him.
Yeah, he does great ones. We should try and get him back on there because they have Invasion at Chestnut Ridge coming out because I donated it to their Kickstarter, GoFundMe, whatever it is. So I think I get an advanced digital copy of it.
Yeah, the Invasion at Chestnut Ridge, that's more of a UFO event, isn't it?
I read up on, there was a Crypto Mundo article because a trailer came out for it apparently. I think it involves a Kecksburg Bell and Bigfoot sightings. This in Western Pennsylvania, in my area. Kecksburg's only like about an hour away from me. And there's a bunch of other, there's a prehistoric or ancient giant bird sighting in a state park not too far from me. Mm-hmm. I think it's essentially a UFO sightings and then a bunch of different cryptid stuff. I think kind of coincides with that.
I might be able to play the trailer right now if you'll indulge me, because it might be we might be able to play the trailer and might give us an invasion of Chestnut Ridge. Now, hopefully, this will give me the actual trailer. Here we go. Small Town Monsters. A little bit
I
of trailer.
remember that evening just like it was yesterday. It was Thursday evening, December 9th, 1965. There was a breaking news story coming on the radio about this brilliant fireball. This fire object was seen from the tip of Ontario, Canada, over Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania.
There's all kinds of weird phenomena, from UFOs, strange lights in the sky, cryptid creatures, haunted locations. There's just a really concentrated area right here. There's a lot of weird activity that goes on.
This is on October 20th.
This window opened up in this black darkness. This thing went in, this window shut.
Uncover the secrets of the ridge. I guess it's coming out October 20th this year. Okay. It's not like a whole lot of material here. There's a lot of spooky music. I'm sure it will be good. And I certainly don't know enough about it to comment on. I wonder if this is in 1960. So there was a story of a UFO crash in Pennsylvania in 1960, where it was a UFO that was a little larger than what you'd like if you compare it to like a capsule from the Apollo moon missions or the Mercury missions, like those command capsules up top, probably a little bigger than that. And the legend is that it crashed down, and when the surrounding residents went to go find it, they thought it was an airplane crash. When they got there, they saw very strange writing on the side of it. And it wasn't anything that they recognized. And as soon as they got there, police showed up, military, paramedics, and firefighters came out. They cordoned off the entire area. And military came in, took this object on the back of a military truck, 18-wheeler, and they got the hell out of there. And there's a lot of eyewitness accounts of that. Now, you could say, look, that could have been a Russian capsule that went through fell through the atmosphere and wound up right there because they saw strange writing on the side of the capsule. It could have been that. Could have been Russian. So a lot of cool stories like that.
I think that would have eventually been declassified, though, you would think.
You would imagine.
There's also theories of it being the Nazi bell, Die Glocke, coming back from some, I don't know, interdimensional journey or some other kind of the interstellar travel, then it crashed there.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stories like that, and I hope this movie, The Invasion of Chestnut Ridge, will go into at least maybe part of the story I just told there, and I just recounted it off the top of my head. I think it's mostly correct. Clown Baby, do you want to let's take a quick break here. I'm going to go pee-pee, and then we're going to come back, and we are going to do some Bigfoot stuff, and then we're going to talk to Joe about whatever he's got going on. How about that?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Why are you laughing?
It's because pee-pee. Like we have to tinkle, make a tinkle,
make wet.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.